37-year-old male, stabbed 3 times. Suspicion of sexual intercourse before time of murder. Time of death, 12 a.m, 14th of January 2020. The victim was found in his bachelor apartment in Orange Street, New York. State your first and last name and relation to the victim.
Olivia Black, ex-wife.
Cameron Green, neighbor.
Hunter Brown, we used to be college friends.
Sarah White. George was my very good friend. We met during our first year at university.
Before we begin, you've been warned that you'll be recorded and anything you say can and will be held against you in a court of law. In the event you are found to be lying or hiding relevant information by the judge and jury, you'll be violating a federal offence in the state of New York, and you'll be prosecuted for perjury and reinstated as a main suspect. Where were you and what were you doing before the incident?
I went to his apartment at around 10 a.m. We were midway through a divorce case and I went to his apartment to confront him because I suspected him of cheating on me with our old college friend, Sarah White. And of course, I was right. We argued back and forth, and I must have left at around 12:15.
I was in my apartment doing my stuff. Working online on my new graphic project. That's it.
I was at home, trying to figure out if I should believe what Olivia told me about Sarah cheating on me with George. I didn't know whether to confront her or just break it off.
I visited George's apartment at around 11:25. I was picking up a package from George because Purple Avenue Estate doesn't offer a safe place for package delivery. George was an old friend of mine and Hunter's, so he'd let us order packages to his address. I was there for about half an hour, just catching up. We each had a couple of glasses of red wine and I accidentally spilled some wine on us. At this point, it was time to leave, because I had plans with some work friends.
What were you doing between 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. at the time of the incident?
I was in my apartment getting ready to go shopping. I got to the shops at around 12 a.m. After, when I got home, I received the phone call that I needed to go to the hospital. My husband was dead.
I can specifically remember going home to get ready to meet George for our weekly game of poker. I was ready to win my money back. I got there and he wasn't answering the door or my calls. I got very worried and forced my way into the house to find his lifeless body. Then I called 911.
I followed Sarah to confront her and George, but instead I got into an argument with George's neighbor, and then I left to go meet my friend Billy.
See, the thing is, Mr. Brown, we've looked into your alibi for that night and it just doesn't check out. Billy confirmed that you were not with him during the times you said. Did you kill George Black, Mr. Brown?
Okay, yes, I wasn't with Billy. I just needed some air to get my mind off Sarah. So I went down to drown my sorrows in alcohol. I didn't tell you this before because I'm under probation and I'm not allowed to drink alcohol in public.
Yes, I'm aware of that, Mr. Brown. I've read your file.
Trust me, I'm not proud of it, but I'm no murderer, detective. If anything, the person you should be checking is that creepy neighbor of George's.
Sarah, tell me then, what happened?
I was out with some friends. I was wearing my friend's clothes because my clothes were ruined from the wine I spilled earlier. After that, I went home and got into a huge argument with Hunter. I stormed out to get my clothes washed downstairs in the flat's laundry room. Then I went for a walk. When I came back, I went to sleep. I was woken up by Hunter, telling me that the detective was calling me and him in for questioning.
Mr. Brown mentioned a suspicious neighbour, Mr. Green?
Well, for the most part, he was always pretty polite. I never saw him as a threat to anyone. He does, however, play poker with George frequently. Oh wait, George did say that he owed him money.
Mr. Green, that's an interesting watch you had there. It matches that ring on your finger.
Thank you, detective.
You know what else it matches, Mr. Green?
No, sir.
It matches this pretty picture of the victim wearing them on his holidays last summer.
It was the neighbor all along. I knew it. I win.
Good job, Captain Obvious. We could have all guessed that, and the only reason you won is beginner's luck. You're just lucky that every dice roll led you to all the good question cards.
You guys want to play another round?
Yeah, let's give Sherlock Holmes here a rematch. The Players in Crime. Director and sound recordist and starring as the detective Ben Traub. Sound editor and starring as Hunter Brown, Deeptanshu Mhaprolkar. Foley recordist and starring as Sarah White, Nika Pracaić. Music editor and starring as Cameron Green, Szymon Grochal. Sound designer and starring as Olivia Black, Victoria Pettis.